Hello, my people. How are you doing? This is Dr. Tarakasa from Akokulu family. I thank you very much for joining me for this session and seeing how to apply for Welcome Core Phase 2 application. As you know, we've been in Phase 1 since January 19, 2022. This is a private sponsorship program that we randomly get matched with a refugee from any country in the world. Now, starting December 19, I can say, the Welcome Core has opened a Phase 2 application. A Phase 2 application process where you name a refugee from any part of the world except the 53 countries that Welcome Core does not sponsor or does not conduct this Welcome Core program, Phase 2 private sponsorship program. So you can apply for this Phase 2 application if you are in those countries who are allowed to participate in this Welcome Core private sponsorship program. For those countries which are excluded from this Phase 2 program, I welcome you to visit the list, but I can name a few countries which we use as a good example in this application process that I'm going to show you, such as Eritrea, Sudan, United Kingdom, Germany. Those are the countries that will not participate in this Welcome Core program. So let's dive in. But before we start the application process, as I said, I'm from Akokulu family, a mentoring, networking, and information sharing hub for minority communities. We are a social enterprise, so we also launched a new shop, and I would like to quickly advertise this shop for you. This is shop.akokulufamily.com. This is a small business website. We prepared it for small business especially. Vendors are welcome to apply, and shoppers, we are welcome to shop on this website, shop.akokulufamily.com. There is no listing fee, there is no monthly fee, but we advertise for our members too. Commissions are deducted for each sale. You're welcome to visit the terms, conditions, and privacy policies. shop.akokulufamily.com. Thank you. Let's go back to our application process. So when you try to apply for this sponsorship program, as any other application process, you have to create an account. This account is specifically designed for sponsors, a group of five sponsors, private sponsors have to come together and designate a primary contact. The primary contact will create this account, add the rest of the group 5 members, and then we'll put in all the documents that are requested, all the information requested. Then we also add the refugees that we are going to sponsor, whether it's one individual or a family of 10 or less. The maximum number of family members is 10 or less. So remember that. So let's create an account. I'm going to use the Akokulu family, a social enterprise, as I mentioned. You're welcome to visit our website, akokulufamily.com, and reach us through email, info@akokulufamily.com. info@akokulufamily.com. Make sure you give out the correct email address and phone number and address as well, because it will delay your application duration, and it might jeopardize or get the application rejected if they cannot reach you, sir. So this is very important. I'm going to give out the company name, phone number, I'm sorry. All right, let's sign up. Everything is correct. I'm double checking. Okay, the email address. I used it for another email address, another account for the Amharic version of this video. So I'm going to use my personal email. It's a dummy email address. Please don't email me on this one. If you want to reach me at info@akokulufamily.com. All right, great. See, you cannot use a duplicate email. It's only one email per account. So let me see. They must have sent me an email. I'm gonna double check. Right, I'm checking my email on my cell phone, and they sent me a link to reset a password. So I'm gonna reset my password on my phone. On my phone. So just a moment. The connection is a little slower. I'm creating my password. Stay with me. All right, so I changed my password. So they ask you to change your password. They send an email to the email you send them. So I'm gonna go back to login, and I'm gonna log in since I created my account. All right, this is my password. All right, I'm not saving it. All right, so this is what it looks like. The phase 2 application looks like that we need a form a sponsor group. I know by now we have created a sponsors, private sponsors in 5. Some of you are asking me about creating a group of 3. That is a no. They're not gonna accept that. A group of 4, it's not acceptable. Even someone asked me, one individual can be a private sponsor, but that is not possible, not with this program. So let's pay attention that we need at least 5 people to be a sponsor for this private sponsorship. You must have attended the training. Yes, I'm sure you must have attended this training. Many of you were reaching out to me about this. Completed background checks. Yes, it takes time. The background check is for both you and the refugees, for sponsors and the refugees that are going to be sponsored. They will go through background check as well. Demonstrate you are ready to sponsor. This is especially financial need. You have to raise at least, $1,455 per refugee. Remember, you multiply this by the number of refugees you would like to sponsor. So as you said, it's a maximum of 10, which means if you sponsor 7, so multiply it by 7. This is a minimum initial fund that you have to raise per individual. Overall, per refugees, you are expected to raise $2,425. This is expected from you. You also need to upload the commitment form. I'll show you what it looks like, the commitment form, because as we move on to application process, they will ask us the commitment form. The commitment form comprises everything that is required from the sponsors. I'll briefly explain it to you. The core sponsorship services, these are services required from you once you receive the refugee. This is for a period of 90 days. Remember, you have to take them for a basic physical checkup. This is a wellness checkup. If there is illness, infection, I'm sure there won't be any, but if in case, they will get treated for that. It's initial screening. Kids have to be enrolled in school. Parents or adults have to be, job-oriented. They have to be oriented to the culture, to the norms, to the values of this country. And, you have to take them to any assistance program that's required. It could be for food, shelter. You provide them food stamp or any food services, clothes services. If you haven't fundraised any, collected any clothes for them, this is all expected from you. Any kind of help for the next 90 days after you receive these refugees, it's expected from you. So be ready. Know the refugee or a family you want to sponsor. So you have to know their detailed information. What I advise you is this information, even if you could be close to them, like aunts, uncles, brothers, brother family, sister family, if they're married and have kids, even though you know them, make sure you get this information from their refugee documents. The date of birth, the spellings of their names, every legal information that they have on the refugee document, get it from the document. So the refugee document has to match the application information. If there is any inconsistency, remember, this application could be rejected or it could be delayed. So we would like to prevent all this. Whether they are already have a U.S. Refugee Admission Program application or a Special Immigrant SIV case number, whether this is a new referral to come to the United States. Know all these processes, documentations, and such as copy, refugee registrations or identifications. Photo, there are specific requirements of these pictures, especially passport size pictures. So let's move on. We created, so we don't have a dashboard yet, but once we create the application, we'll have a dashboard. So let's see the new application. This is the new application of Phase 2 Welcome Core. What we need to know here, once you open this application, continue to fill it. As you move along through the application, remember to save it, because this application does not automatically save your application. So you will start from the scratch. We don't want to do that, because it took me last time when I prepared the video with the Amharic version, it took me at least 45 minutes. Overall, I remember it took me an hour and 10 minutes, 70 minutes. So you don't want to waste your time by not saving your application. So continue to save this application. What I need is the first one, because I know the refugee families that I would like to bring. So I picked the first one. What is the second one? Just to briefly explain, the Welcome Core has also launched Welcome Core on Campus, where refugee students from all over the world would be sponsored by the faculty members or students or staff supports, faculty supports in the universities in the United States. They sponsor them. They come together and sponsor these students from all over the world and bring them to the United States. These students come here and they will be enrolled in community colleges or in the universities in the United States. But I'm not applying for that one at this moment. I'm applying for someone I know, my brother's family. This is just for this purpose. I'm not actually gonna submit this application. I just wanna show you how it goes through. All right, welcome course. And then what bit describes your application? I know the refugee. I want to sponsor. So this is the one I am picking. Continue. Over here, it says, tell us about your sponsor group. The sponsor group, I'm going to name the sponsor group. The sponsor group will be named as Akukulu family. The reason why they're asking this, one sponsor group, a group of 5 can sponsor multiple times, but it has to be in a 3 months duration gap. Once you sponsor a group, you let them establish, you support them, the 3 months lapse, and then you sponsor for another group. So you can be sponsors for multiple times. This sponsor group, by the way, they have to live around close by area, in the same area, 20 minutes apart from each other. They cannot be in different states. They have to be in the same state, closer to each other, so they can closely support this new refugee families. So this is it. So I named this application as Akukulu family. Are you a member, or have you worked with any of the following organizations, sponsor organizations? I haven't. You might have. So you can pick any of these applications. But in my application, I say none. I'm sorry. I'll pick none. I don't know. I haven't worked with any of them. How did you hear about the Welcome Core? I heard directly from the USCIS Welcome Core. So I'm going to pick Welcome Core. Welcome US or Welcome Core, but you can pick any of those. I heard it through the social media, I heard it through the government, or any of Welcome Core sessions. You can pick any of those. Why are you looking to sponsor a refugee? Because they are threatened for their lives. They are displaced from their country. They are in refugee camps. In the refugee camps, they don't feel safe. I'm just picking a reason, but pick a reason that you find appropriate for your own application. Remember, what you use now in this application should be seamlessly, make a story with the reason you gave for the refugee program, where you are, whichever country you're located. It has to make sense. If you give two different reasons, one for the Welcome Corps private sponsorship, or another one for the refugee camp, for the UNHCR, or for the U.S. Refugee Admission Program, USRAP, it would be inconsistent. So there might be more questions. There might be more documents needed from you. You would like to avoid all these inconsistencies. So stay consistent. This is from my experience. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an immigration professional or consultant. But from what I read continuously, you have to be consistent in a story. So my refugee family members are afraid of our government's attack. I'm just giving this example. So they fled to Uganda. I'm just giving you a good reason. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to keep it consistent throughout the application process. Remember, I'm just creating a story. So, core sponsorship services. I'm going to repeat the same thing that I explained earlier and early in the application process. What it says, you have to know your responsibilities. The core sponsorship services have to be fulfilled by these sponsors, the group of 5. This responsibility should not default to the American government, because they would like for you to be responsible to raise money and be prepared with the background checks, everything, so that this sponsorship program for these specific refugee groups goes smoothly. If you cannot fulfill this sponsorship program, it will be difficult for your next journey of sponsorship, and it will be difficult for the refugees. So be ready to be, responsible for this refugees or refugee. Healthcare, initial healthcare screening. It is required from you to take them to initial healthcare screening process. And then for that, you have to name local healthcare. Let's move on to the next one. It says, list one local healthcare location in your community where refugees can get initial medical screening. I'll just name the clinic nearby to us. Hillendale Clinic. Yeah, Hillendale Clinic. This is nearby, but you have to find. I'm just giving an example. This is not a clinic, I'm sure, but I'm just giving an example for you so that you will know, you have to locate a nearby clinic that is really designed for refugees to have healthcare screening. Where can refugees access Medicaid or Refugee Medicaid Assistance Program? This link might be a little bit helpful for you. It gives so much detailed information, but this is for all Americans. It's not specifically for refugees that we would like to bring in. I tried to visit it, and it's really helpful. But I'm trying to visit, for instance, 20904. This is the area where we live in. You see, this is the article that came up. So I didn't find it much helpful. But it says here, resources per states. Visit this website. This is what I'm encouraging you to do. Just visit the website, and then we'll move on to the next one. I didn't mention it in the Amharic video because it might confuse people. With the initial medical screening, I would like to go back and show you what kind of information is required from you. You have to read all this information and then watch this video, and it will show you what is required for the initial medical screening. But it doesn't give the nearest location. It gives you resources but it doesn't locate clinics. I'll just review where can refugees. I'll use the Hillendale Clinic. Otherwise, the application will not let me to move on to the next step. All right, this must be a physical location. Remember, this must be a physical location. Listed the name of one clinic or primary care provider. I'll use the same clinic, Hillendale Clinic. All right, I'll use this one. And then, this is the primary doctor that will be, responsible for this refugees screening. And this doctor, this practitioner, or overall this clinic must accept Medicaid, CHIP is for children's insurance, or refugee medical assistance program. So these clinics must accept that. Other services. Sponsors ensure refugees are set up for success and can integrate into their community as part of their day-to-day lives. Yes, we are responsible. What is one resource that can help the refugees learn English? I'll just say international language. This is a center where they can learn English, the basic English language to greet someone, the basic English language to ask questions, to communicate with anyone in this country. So they have to be integrated into this community. This is one requirement. What is one paid interpretation company or translation service that can help refugees with appointment or communicating important information? I'll use international language. I'll use it here, international language. For your area, you have to find the exact, location of these services, because they have to, get these services quicker, sooner, as soon as they get here. Public benefits. Where in your community can refugees access refugee cash assistance program? Refugee cash assistance program. This is one of the centers. I'll just give Hillendale Center. I'll just give a good example. This is not it's not a center, but I'm just giving an example. Where in your community can refugees access supplement nutrition assistance program? I'll just use Hillendale Clinic or Center. I'm just giving you an example. Remember, save and continue. So this is a good assignment for you, because this is what is requirement. So I'm done with the first one. I'm moving on to the second one. The second one is going to ask me information of sponsors. From the sponsors, the first one is a primary contact. The next 4 or 5, overall 4, Welcome Corps needs their information, but we'll go ahead and fill it out so that what is required is fulfilled. Make sure you prepare your driver's license, make sure you prepare your documents, background check, commitment form, all the requirements, because in this application process, it's going to ask me to upload it. This is really interesting. For uploading the photo, I'm going to use just one logo that I use for my business contact in this company. For documents, I'll just use W-9 of our company's document. I'll just use that because I'm not really applying for this process. All right, edit the primary. Here it says Akokulu family. Remember this name? I created the account with this name. So this is going to be the primary contact. I'm going to use the company's address, 13217 New Hampshire Avenue. Sorry. New Hampshire Avenue, Silver Spring. We are located in Maryland. So you pick MD. You pick your state. And then all this is filled out because you got it from the login information, the one I created the account with. Date of birth, I'm just giving you a good example, 1980. I'll just make it 01, just to make it easy for me. 01, 1980. This is what I'm going to use. The sponsor family, the primary contact is a male. A Kukulu family. I'm just giving you the male gender. Hispanic, Latino, we're Africans, so I say no. It best describes us to pick Black or African American. All right. So this is it about the primary sponsor. Remember, you have to put in all the information. Make sure you double check all the, the red asterisks are all filled in. Otherwise, it will stop you. You will not submit this application. A second one, I'm just going to create initials, DE, MI, just to make it quick. I'll use the same address, 13217 New Hampshire Avenue, New Hampshire Avenue, Silver Spring, picking Maryland as well. I will have to do it, all this information I have to provide it for all four. Remember, there is no bypassing, there is no skipping all this. They need all the information. I'll give the company's number, 476-4114. Email, I'll just put info@akukulufamily.com. You're welcome to email us with any question or communicate any kind of business question you have. You can send us, vendors or customers. Birth date, I'll just give another, the previous one was 1980. I'll just give 01/01/1990. Okay. I'll give it, this is female. I'll give it female gender. We're not Hispanic. We're Black, African American. Moving on to the third one. I'm trying to make it as quick as possible. DD 13217. Let me copy from the top one. It's better, it's time saving. Okay. You have to be patient, This is what I learned. Really be patient. I'm sorry. I should read this here. You have to be patient with this application because you want to do it once correctly, and provide the accurate information. You don't want to go back and forth with them and delay the application. It takes an average of 6 months or more to bring in your refugees here. It's expected to be faster than the USCIS process, where you wait years and months and years, for 114. So we are trying to make it as fast as possible. So let's help the Welcome Corps by providing them with the accurate information so they can process it faster, This is our responsibility. I'm just giving you an example. Stay with me. Don't be bored, please. 1993. Okay. Male. All right. Male. No. African American. All right. Continuing. We're moving on. We're doing a good job. Yeah. It's really very, very helpful for our people who are suffering back home, and then migrated to neighboring countries. It's very, very helpful. Once they come here, they will get work permit. They will get green card. It's a green card process. They don't have to wait for years or months to get a green card. So this is their really groundbreaking process, application program by the U.S. Welcome Corps. I really appreciate it. They got this program before from Canada. Canada has this process. They've been using it for so many years, and now U.S. adopted this process, this Welcome Corps from Canada. They expected with Phase 1, by the way, they expected to bring in at least 5,000 people. 5,000 refugees, but to your surprise, they brought only 85 refugees in the last 1 year. Is it not surprising how the process is moving slowly? So they are expecting to bring in more people with this phase 2 application, because so many applicants, 65,000 applications, interested groups requested that they would like to participate for this phase 2 program. 0101 1999. Yeah, so President Biden, he stated that in 1 year, his goal is to bring in 125,000 refugees from all over the world. This is, I'm sorry, not that. So 1,000 to 125,000 refugees per year. This is a goal by the Biden administration to bring in refugees every year. This is amazing, honestly. This is amazing, yes. But they're not even near to the goal. They have to work hard, It's one reason is Welcome Corps is a new program to the United States. Even Canadians, they use it smoothly. They've struggled through ups and downs to make this process perfect. But now America is trying to make this process as smooth as possible. And hopefully this phase 2 will do better than phase 1. Silver Spring. All right. Let me see, Maryland, my beloved state. All right, 476-4114. Email info@akukulufamily.com. This is time consuming, yes, but it's worth it, It's worth it. All right. Male. No, we're not Hispanic. We're Black, African American. So we're good. You can add a member. You can have 5 or more. That's why there is this selection of add a member, but a minimum of 5. So I hope I answered your question. For my people who ask me 2 sponsors, 3 sponsors, 4 sponsors, please let me know. I am not part of Welcome Corps committee. I would like to help my people with 5 or less, but no, I cannot, because this is the standard. 5 or more have to be sponsors. They have to form a sponsor group. Then they ask you sponsor commitment form upload. What does it mean? Let me click on this one and see what it says. It says private sponsor commitment form is very detailed reception, what it looks like. How are you housing these refugees? Where do you take them? Are you going to take care of them for 90 days? Are you going to provide shelter for 90 days or more? This is really assuring the Welcome Corps committee that we are very responsible. Apply for benefits? Yes. What are the benefits? Refugee medical assistance, this is benefits. Medicaid is also a benefit for any refugee from all over the world. As long as they come here as refugees, they're entitled, but per HHS, Health and Human Services, they are entitled to use the basic healthcare services. These are called preventive treatment for those who are like outpatient, inpatient, as long as it's not an institution admission, such as narcotic addiction or mental health, institution. They are welcome to give you any healthcare based on, provided by Medicaid, covered by Medicaid. So remember, this is a benefit that is also required. TANF is temporary assistance for needy families. For very low income families, food is provided for these families. And this is required for the refugees too. Where do they get it? Do you know the center? SNAP. This is a nutrition assistance program for children and the whole family. Supplement benefits, supplement social security insurance. All this week also for lactating mother, infants, breastfeeding. What I mean lactating is breastfeeding. This is required. Healthcare, screening. You are required to provide them with this one. You are responsible for this one. This is a commitment. You are providing, you are giving your words with this one. Initial medical screening, we mentioned that learning English is a requirement, is a basic need, Translation services, if they cannot speak English, then they need translation services. Remember, translation service, if you say that, you can provide them translation service, if you can provide them that you can serve as a translator, no, that's not possible with this one. A company, a legally registered company has to provide a translation service. This will continue the service. This will ensure the continuity of care for this refugee or refugees. Orientation. What is the law in this country? What is the banking system, the employment? What are the rights and responsibilities? How do they navigate public transportation? Show them. Employment for the adults. They have to get employment, because as long as they have Social Security and Employment Authorization Card, EAD, or that what we call Social Security, work permit, they can work. They can start working as soon as possible. This is required from you too. Education and childcare, your responsibility, transportation, yes. Fundraising, if all the costs are not enough, are you able to provide more? Are you, by now, do you have $2,425 per refugee in your bank or in a GoFundMe account? Show it. That's what they're saying. Necessities. What other the clothing, furniture, housing, food, cookware, all these things, as you know, pocket money for 30 days or more. It's required from you. There is a limit, by the way, $40 per adult per week. This is a pocket money. Documentation. Do they have the necessary documentation that you need to fill this application? Do they have necessary documentation that they will use when they come here to the United States? This is also required. Transition from sponsorship. You will also check that. This is what is called commitment. So I'm going to upload a company document because it makes it easy for me. I don't have any document. Continue working because it took longer. Yeah. Certify. I'm certifying all this. I'm 18 years old. I have signatures from each group member. I have completed background check. All group members live in the same or nearby community. Remember, not a state or a state. But there are complicated questions that you have to ask Welcome Corps committee. One question I received, the sponsors live in neighboring states in the United States, and these neighboring states are only 20 minutes or 15 minutes apart, the cities in those neighboring states. Can we sponsor? That is a question for Welcome Corps. But you have to be the same or nearby community. The sponsor group would support the refugee or refugee family for a minimum of 3 months. Yes, I will do that. We will do that. We are certifying all this. Okay. I am saving and continuing. Stay with me. I hope you're learning something from this application process. I hope it will make it easy for you. Essential training attendance certificate upload. Have you attended the certification? The training? Yes. This is a mandatory program, a mandatory requirement. Yes, but I'm uploading this document just to bypass this application. All right. Number 3 is completed. Hooray. Let's move on. I'm saving and continuing so I don't have to waste my time. All right. This is it. What it says is repeating it again and again. They're giving you information, the same information again and again. It says you have to wait 3 months before you sponsor a next one. What is the next sponsorship? It comes after 3 months, after you fulfill your duties for the first group. A maximum of 10 people per family, if you would like to sponsor a family. And each individual sponsors have to be 18 or older. They have to be adults. So family members, you must add every family member of the family that you want to sponsor in this section, including children. So let me point out this. For refugees that are coming to the United States, if majority of them are children or a couple of them are children, they cannot be like a primary contact. The primary contact has to be adult in that group. For instance, an aunt, grandma, uncle, coming with two kids, a niece, nephew, or something like that, right? But the adults, one of the three adults have to be responsible for this group. So one of the adults have to be the primary contact. So this is what it's saying. Children cannot apply by themselves. They have to be under adults. All right? I'm going to edit here. I'm going to add, how do you, the sponsor group, coordinate, know the refugee? How do you know them? I will pick one. I will pick, I'll pick parent, spouse, children. Okay. Refugee name. The first refugee name, I'll enter the first refugee. He is from Eritrea, who came into Ethiopia. You know, Eritrea is excluded from this application process, this welcome core, because they cannot process it. They have no ability, meaning the welcome core ability, to interview these refugees in Eritrea. This is the primary reason they provided. For those people of mine living in Germany, they gave the same reason to Germany, but I don't know why they cannot conduct interview in Germany. I am not sure why. I cannot answer that. I wish I could work with the Welcome Corps, but Welcome Corps committee, the committee is overwhelmed, I believe, because I've sent so many emails, but none of them were answered. None of them were replied to me. So I'm going to give Bebe, this is the father, middle name, Casa. I'm sorry. Casa. Last name, Tasamma. Okay. This is the father. This is the father because I'm picking parent, spouse, and child. It's going to be three of them. Refugee, date of birth, I'll give him 03, 1986. Okay. I'll give him that. And then United States Refugee Admission Program. And it says this number starts with two letters, 6 or 8, because you have to include that in here. United States case number, you have to mention that. This is not a case number from the United States. It says, ask the refugee directly whether they have a case number specific to the United States. The refugee would receive this from a resettlement support center or the International Organization for Migration, IOM/OIM. This number starts with two letters, followed by 6 or 8 numbers. It's giving you specific information about the international, refugee number from resettlement support centers. This is not a case number from the United States or UNHCR. This is not a refugee identification card number. This is not an identification number from other governments. This is a specific number. Application tip, ask the refugee before submitting this answer. Yes, this is the best advice. Do not assume. Do not assume. So it's really good to get it exactly from them. It has to be the correct information. Does the refugee have, and I say yes, enter the number. Since it gives me, 2 letters, I'll be writing AB, and a 6 number, I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just write that so I can bypass this process. Where is the primary contact you are looking to sponsor located right now? I'll pick Uganda. Most of my people migrated to Uganda. So this will resonate with them. I hope they will get here safely, and I wish you all good luck, my people. I hope this process help you. Uganda, Kampala. That's the Kampala city. Well, I'm sorry, Kampala. I'll just put Kampala. Yeah. All right, next. I don't have a save here, but I'll continue next because I'm not done with the father's application. Refugee date of birth, refugee place of birth, Ethiopia or Eritrea. I'll just pick Eritrea. Oh, yeah. State. Okay, state, country. Okay, state or province. I'll just put Asmara. And here, Asmara. I hope I pronounce it right. Yeah, Asmara. Legal sex is a male. Marital status, he's married with a spouse and a child. Religion, he's Christian. Where is it? Christian? Here. Ethnicity is from Amhara. I'll just Amhara because let me see. Easy one. If he's from Eritrea, he could be Tigray. Let me see if there is Tigray, just to make it, easy to remember for me. Stay with me. We're moving on. Tigray, T-I-G, Tigray. Here you go. Here's Tigray. Native language, Tigrinya. This is one of Ethiopian language. Tigrinya. Okay. Nationality, Eritrean. Let me see. Eritrean, E. So you have to be Eritrea. You have to be consistent with your application. All right, next, I'm not done with this application. I'm uploading his document. Upload photo of the refugee. Remember, the photo doesn't have, like eyeglass. The photo does not cover their hair. The photo, on the photo, you don't wear hats. You don't smile either. So remember, these are the no-nos with the red X marks. With the check mark, with the green ones, yes. Just neutral color, neutral facial expression. Neutral facial expression. Don't look sad, don't look happy, just neutral. So they know who you look like. Good lighting for the picture. Neutral background. You see the background? There is no bright color or white. Too white. Here there is white, of course, but there is gray color here as well. No glasses or hats. Avoid covering the face. Looking directly at the camera. Only one person in the image, not a family. And it should be consistent with the name of the. If you have a male, it has to be a male photo. If it is a female, it should be a female photo. Okay. No smiling. Must have a neutral expression. And the photo size should be this size. I prepared my photo with this size, so I'm gonna upload it. This is not a photo, but just for this purpose. All right, I'm finishing with the father, the first one. You see, I'm still continuing with him. Past experience. Did the refugee previously suffer any harm in their country? Yes. Who harmed them? Do not put names of the government. I'll just put the government. Okay. Were they harmed because of their race, ethnicity, religion, nationality, political opinion, or being part of another type of group? Yes, political reason. That was the reason. Religion, I can add too, if you are affected by the region. Where, the government is attacking. I'm just giving the same reason as I gave in the earlier. You remember, the government. Attacking my family or this family due to their membership and opposition party. Just to make it short, I'm gonna copy this because I'm gonna definitely need it. When you apply, when you give a good reason, you can give up to 500 words. And it says it blocks you because this sentence is only 84. So I'm gonna copy and paste, just to bypass this application and save our time. I don't want to take up much of your time. All right. Until it reaches 500. So I'm on for 509. I'm good to go. Future concern. Is this refugee afraid of being harmed if they return to their country? Yes, they are. All right. Why do they fear? I'll just put the same reason. Yes, because they're going to be attacked. Would this be an account of their race, its ethnicity, religion, nationality, political opinion? Yes, it is. Or being part of another type of group? Yes. I'll say political reason, and I'll put religion. Okay, describe. I'm going to use the same reason. All right, and I think it needs 200 words, so I'm going to repeat this just to save time. But make sure when you put in all this reason, be consistent throughout the application. Be consistent with your admission, with your refugees case. Be consistent with your story from family member to family member, from group to group, okay? Be consistent. So it has to be consistent. So it makes sense. It convinces the Welcome Corps to give you an okay to come in here. And it also gives a good reason for the refugee admission program, U.S. admission program. When they interview the refugees at their location, it gives them a good reason to give them, a visa to come here. So make sure you use up all the space. Fill it up as much as possible, but don't make it too long, too short. Use as much space as possible. Give as much detailed information as possible. Be consistent, okay? All right, refugee phone number. I'll just give Eritrean number, just random number. But they are located in Ethiopia. Remember, Eritrea, okay, they are in Ethiopia because Eritrea is not allowed to participate in this. I'll just give a random number. Email address, info@akukulufamily.com. All right. Did you, the sponsor group coordinator, get any outside help filling in this? As you see, no, I did not get any help. If you did, yes, you can mention it. But when you say yes, they will ask you all this detailed information because by USCIS standard or by Welcome Corps standard, whoever filled in this application on your behalf is responsible also for the information, for the full accurate information. Because they want to, they want to get all the detailed information of who filled it out. If in case something happens, they will ask that person as well, Did you, the sponsor, get any outside help interpreting or translating information from refugee families? No. If you say yes, it will ask you the same thing, okay? But make it short, yes. But if you have done that, yes. All right. All right, so the first one is added. That's why it shows you a check mark. I'll save and continue, okay? Remember, I don't want to lose any of that. Add a refugee. I would like to add at least the spouse. What do you think? It's the same process. That is the same process. It is the same process that I go through. I can either sponsor one person or multiple people. But to make it short, I can add another one. But let me continue with the next one to make it short for you. Okay. Refugee, you see, it asks all this identification, refugee claim, the reasons, refugee contact, you gave it to. All right, let's continue with this. Provide your reference. Okay. Preferred airport or refugee arrival. Where do you want them to come initially? Is it to Dulles International Airport? Yes, that is closer to where we live. Or BWI. They also, international flight too. I see this. So I prefer Dulles and then BWI. They are the closest to us. Closest airport. What is the total number of you will support refugee family size? Remember, I filled 1, so I'm going to pick 1. But if I pick 10, I have to put 10. If I pick 5, I have to pick 5. Remember, this amount that you see here, it varies with the number of family you're sponsoring. It auto-adjusts the amount of money required from you. Here, if I pick 4, you see, it changes. And also, it shows you initial deposit from you. The total amount is $9,700, but the initial deposit is 60% of the $9,700, which is $5,820. So this is expected from you. I'm just giving 1 though, since my application is 1. I'll keep it consistent. So you must upload a document showing that you have secured $1,455. Have you secured this amount? Yes, I did. Yes, we did. Okay. Acceptable documents is a GoFundMe account screenshot or a bank statement. Bank statement has to show all the members, the names of the members, and also the bank number, the bank name, all that account number, all that has to be included. If it is a faith-based organization like churches or faith-based organizations other than churches, they need a statement, an official statement from this organization stating the amount of dollar fundraised and also stating the name, the address, the contact number of this faith-based organization. It has to be a legit paper from this organization. Proof uploaded? Yes, I'll just upload a random one. Our company's W-9. Here it says bank statement requirements is already attached. By the time the refugee arrives, you need to meet 100% of the funding requirement, which is $2,425 per refugee. How will you secure the remaining funds you need to meet this requirement? If you already have 100% of that, we require, you can state that. I have 100% of that. I have 100% of the required fund. All right, this is it. Monthly expenses, let's calculate it. They want to make sure that your raised amount, your fund raised amount covers all the expenses for at least a minimum of 3 months. Rent, let me put in, I'm bringing in one individual, so 1 bedroom, I say, or efficiency is $1,500. Just giving an example. Utilities, they're giving me approximate amount, $300 to $400. I'll pick $300. Utilities for one person. Phone, $150. Phone and internet. So you see, total amount is $1,950. The 3 months total, it auto calculates it for you. It's $5,850, which is really good. You know, this is very, very helpful. I love it. I really love it. This is very helpful. Based on the above calculation, you must estimate 3 months expenses will be $5,850. So this is required from you. This is more than the total amount that Welcome Corps requires you for selected family, $2,400 per family. So if it is more, you have to fundraise more. So you will assure that I will provide, let me see, I'll provide more funding as needed for the 3 months, right? Months. This is assuring them. I certify that. I remember to save it. And we are close to the final. You see all green, isn't that nice? Yes, it's beautiful. We did it all. Okay, review your application. Final attestation of this application. You make sure. You see, every step they ask you to make sure. Are you sure? Are you ready? They want to make sure, because it will be a burden to the U.S. government if you cannot support this refugee. So let's be honest. We have to be responsible. So I confirm the information in this form is accurate. Yes. I attest that I, or the sponsor coordinator, I'm a U.S. citizen, a lawful permanent resident of the United States. Yes, I am. I authorize the U.S. government to confirm my status. Go ahead and do it. I acknowledge that making a false claim may negatively impact my application and, if applicable, may have serious consequences to my immigration status. ይሄ የራሳችን ላይ ራሱ ችግር ሊያመጣ ይችላል። ስለዚህ መጠንቀቅ አለብን ማለት ነው ወገኖቼ። በራሳችን ላይ ሊመጣ ይችላል። ምንም አይነት ውሸት መኖር የለበትም። I understand that my group's data, name, contact information, group information, preferences will be shared with Periti. Periti is a group or a company that monitors how this Welcome Corps is successful. They will send you a survey. They will monitor how the refugees are doing. Overall, all the information they collect that they help the Welcome Corps in improving the process, in improving, the goal. Understand that the sponsor group coordinates contact information will be shared with the state refugee coordinator, state refugee health coordinator. This is it. So they will share your information. So submit all the necessary information. As you see, all green means it's a good sign. I haven't left any information. I haven't omitted any information. It's all good to go. Now, what you do is submit. But in my case, I'm not gonna click on submit because I am just doing this to show you what you do or how you fill the application form. I wish you good luck, my people, and let me know how it goes. Thank you. Take care.